Hello, everybody! My sense as of starting today is currently 0.4 times 1200 dpi, which is a little above average, but because it's a little higher than the recommended sense, it comes with some issues like inconsistent aim. I've stopped using Aimlabs for a year, and I've noticed that my aim isn't what it used to be. So, I've decided to practice for a bit, and today I'm going to tell you what happened after aim training for 100 days. To begin, here's the routine I'll practice with. These are the Aimlab tasks in order: grid shot ultimate, timing shot, line trace, micro shot precision, headshot precision, and detection. I'll then follow it up with the Valorant range, practicing recoil control, counter-strike flicking, and then I'll transition into the regular range and a round of hard bots and 2 Valorant deathmatches to end it. I'll do each Aimlab task twice and spend about 5 minutes each spray controlling, counter-strike flicking, and shooting bots in the range. This in total will amount up to about 45 minutes of training each day. So, without further ado, here is what happened. Day 1 started out with me basically winning the lottery, since on my first try grid shot, I somehow set a new record of 93,000, which is absolutely incredible since I wouldn't be able to break the record for another 97 days until I did some unconventional things to my sensitivity, which I'll explain on day 95. Then on my second try, I got 75,000, which was mildly disappointing, but that just goes to show how inconsistent my aim is right now. After grid shot was timing shot, which I've never really tried before, and it was pretty evident since I started out horribly with me being able to only hit about 1 in 5 targets as I wasn't used to the movements and timings at all. My average for the 2 tries of timing shot was around 12,000 each. I won't talk about line trace throughout the video very much since I'm already really good at moving in a straight line with my aim when I'm flicking, but I did notice there was one issue that stayed persistent throughout the 100 days. It was that when I'm aiming to the right, that my crosshair would move in a straight line, but at a slight slant upwards, meaning that it would go in a straight line, but just diagonally a little bit at around like a 5-degree angle. Microshot and headshot was one of the things that appears to have not changed too much since my 1-year break though. My average was around 65,000 for microshot and 110,000 for headshot. Detection on day 1 and day 100 look identical, and throughout my entire experience, my reaction time remained the same and didn't change, staying at around 140 to 155 milliseconds. In terms of reaction time, I think I'm at my peak, not being able to get a lower reaction time with build being on literal crack. My Aimlabs was done for day 1 and it turned out okay to say at the very least. It was time to move on to the in-game practice now though. I started off with 5 minutes of spray controlling the Phantom Spray and Vandal Spray at 10 meters, then transitioning it into 20 meters and then 30 meters. I would vary my sprays between doing 15 bullet sprays and 10 bullet sprays. I haven't practiced spray control in I can't remember how long, but anyways, it wasn't pretty, but that's fine because it's something that would improve drastically over my 100-day experience. During the 5 minutes of counter-strafing, I was a little disorientated with the movements and how to do it, and I spent a couple minutes just trying to figure out what direction I wanted to be flicking with, but after a bit of slowly practicing the movements, I kinda got used to it, and over time I would be able to increase the speed. Once I got into the actual range though, I just popped jet knives and I started one-tapping the boss normally, but something felt really off, and then I remembered that I used to flick between 2 bots at a time. At first it felt a little wonky, but then once I got into the rhythm of doing pew pew, pew pew, it was really fun. I then ended with a round of hard bots and then head off into 2 deathmatches. So far, day 1 has started out pretty good, but let's see what this translates into. By day 20, I had seen major improvements in terms of my actual gameplay in ranked games. I was able to control my mouse much better and microflick more precisely, helping me win gunfights that I would have lost 20 days prior. And along with that, I appear to have gained the ability to be able to jiggle, peek, flick, one-tap people, which is incredible since I never dreamed of being able to do this. That wasn't the only thing that improved though. My timing shots average score doubled and I was able to average around 20,000 each time. My grid shot and micro shot increased as well, but it wasn't as drastic with only an increase from 70,000 to 75 to 80,000 average for micro shot. The reason that my score didn't drastically increase like with timing shot is probably because I've done this task of micro shot for years before taking my break, meaning that my ability to improve in micro shot is near its peak already. At around this point though, a bizarre thing occurred with my headshot. where I thought it was getting better, but the score was saying otherwise, as I occasionally got under 110,000 each time I tried it. As for the practice in the range, I still wasn't able to get past killing 15 hard bots, but my spray control is much better, I'd say. Instead of doing 10 bullet sprays though, I swapped to doing around 6 to 7 bullet sprays, as that's more realistic for the game, and this swap definitely made my spray control feel way smoother and cleaner while I was practicing it. With how things went with the first 20 days, you would expect me to be TenZ himself, but nope. By day 50, I had hit a plateau, and it's not because of what you think. By day 35, I started to feel the negatives of playing 4 games of Valorant a day and aim training 45 minutes on high sense each day. I was burnt out, and not only that, but my wrist felt like it was absolutely being destroyed. I decided to take a break from Valorant for a bit, but I maintained my aim routine for the sake of the video. Overall though, by day 50, there was no notable improvements besides the fact that I wasn't burnt out as much anymore, and my wrist was feeling much better after I started doing wrist stretches. It's day 75 now, and I'm definitely doing way better than I did on day 20. However, the beginner gains for me are over now. My gains were by no means gone, but they didn't improve as much as before. My aim lab scores have been pretty consistent for the past 25 days since day 50, with only a few improvements. For example, my grid shot average had increased to 80 to 90,000, and my timing shot average increased to 25 to 32,000 on average. But that's about it. Everything in terms of aim labs is the same. But that's not what matters. What matters is the consistency of my aim when I'm playing Valorant. My spray control and spray transferring had continued to improve over the last 25 days, and my flicks and aim in general felt crisp, and I've never felt this confident before. I've always been bad with using the deagle, and it finally felt good to use. I was able to one-tap people pretty consistently. I've been using the Vandal in more of my games now. Things were going really well and my aim was insane now, but that was all about the change. On day 95, I did something extremely dumb and irreversible. I decided to change my sense on day 95. Yes, after aim training for 95 days and getting insane aim on one sense, I decided to almost double my sense from 0.4 times 1200 DPI to 0.77 times 1200 DPI. You may be wondering why I did this. Why go through all this just to ruin your aim? Well, the simple answer for that is because I'm doing a high sense unranked to Immortal series. Hello everybody, Amuki from the future here. So, the plan was to do a high sense educational series to Immortal, where I explained how to win without good aim. Anyways, long story short, I used the sense of, again, 1000 EDPI on my main for a month. I climbed with it, then I made a new account, got that to diamond, and then I stopped since I stuck at explaining my thoughts mid-round, leading to a fairly boring series after I looked at the footage. I may bring it back in the future, but until further notice, the High Sense to Immortal series is a terminated idea. Thank you for your time, and please enjoy the rest of the video. The change of sense definitely took getting used to, but within 3 days I was able to break my grid shot and headshot records, with me getting 96,000 in grid shot and 124,000 in headshot. This might seem like the better sense due to the improvement in aim labs, but in game, this sense is hot garbage. Like, I could not spray control with it very well, and if I don't one-tap someone in the first spray, I think I've lost the gunfight honestly. But we'll see how it goes during my High Sense to Immortal series. It's finally day 100, the long-awaited and coveted day where I finished my 100-day aim training series. From the beginning to the end, I saw major improvements to my aim, or much rather, a major improvement to the consistency of my aim. I was able to spray transfer much better after learning the general spray pattern of the Phantom and Vandal much better. I was able to get sick flicks in, and I even got the ability to jiggle one tap and flick people, which is probably one of the best skills I could have developed throughout all of this. Overall though, the 100 days of aim training taught me that consistency is the most important part of aiming, and that aim training is good no matter what level of aim you're at, since I was still able to improve my aim after aim training for over 2 years prior to this. I would definitely recommend aim training to everybody, and especially to those who want to take their gameplay to the next level. If you're brand new, especially if you do 10 minutes of aim training each day, it's a great place to start, since you'll definitely see major improvements just by doing 10 minutes of aim training each day for 2 weeks as a newbie. Just remember to prioritize tasks that revolve around micro flicking, such as micro shots, since there's no point in doing fancy fast flicks and you can't land the shots to win the round. Alright everybody, I hope you enjoyed the video as much as I did enjoy the aim training, and adios everyone!